Let's go!
Players and coaches together got this done tonight.
LSU fans, obviously this game did not start the way that we wanted to. This actually is a really interesting play design right here from Joe Sloan. Fake like you're throwing this to the right. We got unlucky, though, that we just happened to be rolling into a safety blitz coming from the direction of where we're running this play. Look at all this room right here. And obviously he releases, and Nuss has to make this guy miss, and he does a really good job of that. 2 hands on the football, and now the safety is able to crash down. So Garrett is faking like he could throw it down the field and then goes back to Kyren Durham. That's really, really, really good quarterback play right there from Garrett Nussmeier. Okay, so much has been made about LSU taking forever to snap the football. Well, look, there's only so many excuses I can make for DJ Chester. There's no checks or anything that's actually happening here. He just leans for whatever reason, and I think it's because they decided to stunt, which is smart to do versus a center who's struggling, and he just loses his balance, and it's a false start right here, and it sets up a 3rd and 8. So Garrett took some heat on this 3rd and medium for not throwing this football deeper down the field. I really don't know what else he was supposed to do. It doesn't look like this deep out to Aaron could have been completed. I also just don't like these route concepts at all. I don't like running a whip directly into where this running back is right here. Obviously, if I had to choose, I would prefer throwing this football to Josh instead of Kyren because there is a DB right there. But instead, we do throw it short, and we are forced to punt. Okay, so first play for Vanderbilt, obviously this was a disaster. Is Alexander. Okay, so he had a brutal game versus Alabama. Then he had an unfreaking believable game versus Florida. And now, you know, part of the reason why his Florida game was so good was they kept attacking Ashton Stance. But, you know, he really was good versus Florida. And I was very shocked how deliberate Vanderbilt was with Skinner to attack Alexander in the first half of this game. And he does get beat. And looks like it's an in-breaker. His feet stop. Maybe Alexander thought that he had safety help over the top right here with Jordan Gilbert, and that would allow him to really sit heavy right here. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But you do get the fake from Pavia. We have no pass rush on this play. They doubled Braden Swinson, and this is just a walk-in touchdown. There really is nothing else to it. And, we start off on the wrong foot, okay? Okay, so we start off here. We had a little Mason Taylor out route on first down, and every time we get into pistol, we run outside zone. I'm shocked that, we haven't been able to fix this. And you notice right when they're in pistol here, look at how quickly they're keying this, right? Safety into the box. Backer's able to get a quick step to the right, okay? And you'll see on this outside zone, Emory Jones, since he dominates his end so far out, we're able to have a hole, even though DJ Chester is almost driven back into the outside zone. I think one thing that's kind of underrated about this is that this block is very difficult for DJ Chester to make. But still, Emory Jones dominates his guy. Chester's able to do enough, and we're able to get a good first down run to really get this drive going. Good stuff right there from Caden to fall forward. All right, so this has been Garrett Nussmeier's favorite concept this year. Vertical, and then you have a flat route from the play-action running back, and you're hitting Kyren on the deep over. C.J. Daniels, like he's done all season, does a good job getting other people open, carry the corner, hold the safety on this vertical, and open up all this space. And the play-action with the pulling guard, it's just really good stuff, and it's also a really good pocket. And there you go. Look at that. Good, explosive pass play in an offense that has struggled at times to be explosive. So really good stuff. All right, so we get to here. I'm a little shocked that Garrett didn't work to Aaron Anderson because this would have been throwing in the direction of the blitz. So maybe this is a better option, but look at this pass protection. This is such a deep throw that you have to make here to Aaron. He catches it, and Aaron will tell you he would probably like to make that guy miss, but you get a nice gain. I say nice gain. It was 3 yards. So right here, Garrett is obviously going to get graded really well on this. This play is obviously the play that Garrett's throwing interceptions, right? Since we like to run a lot of comebacks to the single receiver side, you act like you're rushing, and you're trying to hope that Garrett predetermines that he's going to throw the comeback, and the end is just underneath it. So everybody is far back into their drops here, okay? So guess what Garrett decides to do? In this good pocket, you see him starting to look center field. You have got to run. You just do. I mean, look at this. This is in the easiest rush lane that you could think of, but Garrett decides to throw the football here, and Josh makes a miraculous run here. But you tell me, whoever is watching this right now, would you prefer Garrett to run and take these free 7 yards, or would you prefer him to throw a cross-field pass to a running back in the flat versus 2 backers he would have to miss to turn this into anything? All right, a decent backer is at least bringing him down here or slowing him down, but Josh makes both of them miss and picks up the first down. So it looks like it's good quarterbacking, but it's not. You just got to tuck and run. And then here we go. Touchdown. Got to give Miles Frazier a lot of credit, playing through a lot of pain, and good stuff from Miles. Look at that. I mean, that is ridiculous stuff, and this is just really good design, okay? Help Paul Mabenga out with the double here with Will Campbell, and look at, God, that is incredible stuff from Miles Frazier. It really is, and Josh breaks a crap ton of tackles like he's pretty much done all season. He has broken a lot of tackles, and he just somehow gets through there. I mean, that is just freaking dunkulous stuff, okay? It really is. They get the football back, and, man, this is a good play from Savion Jones. He automatically just decides, hey, I'm going to play the quarterback the entire way, and he gets paid off. That's really good stuff. We had the handoff taken care of as well. Good play by Jones. So we get the football back. We had some good Zy Alexander coverage, and guess what? We get some really good quarterbacking here from Garrett Nussmeier. We're running all verts. I have begged us to stop running all verts. I mean, we just don't complete anything deep. So guess what? Garrett sits in this pocket, does a really good job finding Caden Durham right here on this little leak, and we want this 12 times out of 10, and Caden is doing some damage after this if he doesn't drop it. Okay, so you want to know why Joe Sloan will have a tough time coming back as the LSU offensive coordinator? Is doing this every single time. You can't just run outside zone at a pistol every single time, okay? We could talk all we want about bad offensive line play. Trust me, I've talked plenty about center in particular, but that's never going to work. Never, ever, 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 ever going to work unless your running back does something crazy like that. And even then, you're just nowhere to go. And even if you do have good blocking, as you can see right here from Will Campbell, it really doesn't matter. Look at Will. Caution tape. Get the chalk outline out. That's pretty good, huh? All right, 3rd and 9. And Garrett is in the mindset, hey, I got to pick up all these yards right here. When this shallow drag right here to CJ's probably getting this done, okay? He also could have hit this check down, but finally we have Garrett stepping up into the pocket, okay? It's not the best pocket mechanics, but 2 hands on the football, and he's able to make this guy miss, all right? So now he's rolling out to the right side, and he eventually finds Mason Taylor on the sideline. So good quarterbacking. It could have been a little cleaner, but still, we get the yardage. We'll take it. Goodness. Josh, this is really good stuff. So he presses this hole, and then he decides to bounce it, and we get a nice run on first. But, man, we ran to the outside a lot on first, and Josh made a lot of them look good. All right, so we get to the 2nd and 4. Once again, we want to thank all our partners this year, NOPOD, NoOffSeason.com Network, and, of course, the Zion Imaging 360 Spin Booth. Man, Garrett's deep passing has just been so off, okay? Obviously, there is a decent amount of pressure up the middle here. Mabenga gets thrown off. But this, honestly, is good enough for Garrett to throw this football and have enough on it to Kyren Lacy, okay? And the ball just dies, all right? Kyren has a step, okay? If we throw this on target, it's a big completion. 3rd and 4, play of the game, or play of the first half right here. Two guys that have received a lot of criticism, Paul Mabenga and DJ Chester. They dominate that blitzing backer, and Caden does a good job squeezing through there. Will kind of got beat, but had a good finish, but good play by Mabenga and Chester. All right, so we hit Kyren on a little screen, and it was a pretty nice gain of yards, and now we're just running it up in there. It's a good job by Caden seeing this pretty quickly, that with this guy coming off the edge, he needs to get into this space as quickly as he can, and look at him getting skinny through the hole, and look, he's through. He's through. All right, that's just really, really, really good running right there from Caden Durham. All right, so 1st and goal, and man, this should have been a touchdown to Aaron Anderson. It really should have, okay? And Garrett is looking that way right. Chester's in his lap already, okay? And Emory Jones eventually gets beat right here. But honestly, could Garrett have sat in here and still thrown this football to Aaron or thrown this football to CJ? Potentially. I mean, neither of these are just wide open, and he takes a sack. All right, so we go to 3rd and goal here, running a little switch here, and obviously this was a play to CJ Daniels that we could not score on last week. And it's not quite the same thing. You're running a vertical here and a slant behind it, and there's a lot of pressure, so Garrett has to get rid of it quickly. And you know, Trades Green, you'd like to see him barrel through here and find a way in, but we get a nice gain, and we decide to go for it on 4th. So we motion, and we get the man-to-man matchup that we want here, and we have Mason Taylor staying in to block, and Garrett starts off looking to the left. They double Kyren Lacy, and ironically, Kyren would have gotten through here, all right, if he would have stuck with it, but you're not supposed to stick with it if he's doubled. So this actually ends up being interesting. The slot corner actually doubles CJ Daniels, and the linebacker, safety, whatever this is, actually ends up picking up the deep over right here from Trades Green. Okay? And so he's in position for this because we do run a lot of these overs with Trades. And honestly, Garrett has a really good pocket. He does have to eventually throw this ball, and you'll see that Trades gets pulled right here, and in this spot, you want to use this left arm to create some separation, like swipe that left arm to get him off of you, because you see he's off balance, but you know he doesn't do anything to create separation here, and one is able to just stay all over him. And all things considered, you know, because you didn't swipe him off, he's able to just stay on you. They're never going to call PI right here. The ball goes straight through his hands, though, right? The ball had to be thrown high because there was so much. There was no separation, and there was a defensive lineman right here. You know, we had one of these versus Arkansas. It looks like it looked catchable, but still, it was just better coverage. All right, so they had a comeback route on Zy Alexander, and it gets to this 3rd and 1, okay? So, once again, we can't guard zone read to save our life. No one's responsible for the quarterback. I don't know if it's Weeks. I don't know if it's supposed to be Jordan Gilbert. But once again, we have nobody responsible for the QB. And the pull read here is just Deigo Pavia versus nobody. Okay? If this is any quarterback, let's say if it was the backup number 8 who has a little bit more speed, he's scoring, right? Notice we don't have anybody close. Another thing that we've really struggled with is our corners, whether it's Zy or Ashton Stamps, we have struggled getting off of blocks to get in the run fit. Okay? Is that holding? Yes, they never called on the outside like that. So, as you can see, Pavia doesn't have that elite breakaway speed. If it is any decent quarterback with speed, he's scoring. All right, this is going to be one that's going to keep Pavia up at night, Dan. God, they had it again on Zy Alexander, and no pressure at all. They did a good job blocking Swinson for the most part. Any pass inbounds is getting this done, okay? 3 still could have caught it. Okay, it's 3rd and Lake Charles, and they decide to leave Devon Keys unblock and run a little screen here to the left. Jordan Gilbert sniffs it out, and now we just need our safety to make a safety open field tackle. You don't need to dive in or anything like that. Let the sideline be your friend, and they decide to punt. All right, please hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. Okay, let's break down this run right here. Little counter GT action with Caden Durham. And after a first down run for only 3 on second down, they just do a good job filling it, and it sets up 3rd and medium. Okay? 3rd and 3, this is ridiculous quarterbacking from Garrett Nussmeier. It helps having good protection, okay? This could have been thrown to Aaron, all right? It could have, and he got off of it because, well, there's a guy right there, okay? So he decides to work backside to Kyren Lacy, and it's there, and it hits Kyren right in the chest, and he drops it, okay? Obviously, Aaron would have been the better option, but I don't mind a full field to the backside. Your number one receiver's just got to catch it. All right, so they get the ball back, and this is really good stuff right here from Blake Baker. He said, I'm not going to let Ashton Stamps play press man, right? Florida cooked them last week. Good stuff. Make them play pitch and catch, right? We prefer this. Now, is this too easy? Yes, but it's better than go balls all day, every day. The problem is we need a better tackle. There's no reason for this guy to be able to get the sideline here, and he's able to. All right, our zone read defense was better, and it was because we were just so aggressive playing it, right? Savion Jones crashing down. Pavia should have pulled this. Okay, if he's pulling this, it's probably a pretty decent gain. But Savion Jones slows 29 enough down to allow Dominic McKinley to come back and make this tackle, make it 3rd and medium. All right, so 3rd and 7. Is this holding? They normally let rip moves go around the edge, so you see how that's a rip underneath. They normally let holding go, but that's pretty extravagant. We almost get a piece right here. But this is what I'm talking about. Make them have to complete these really difficult 3rd downs. Okay? That's not bad coverage from Whit Weeks at all. They do get it. But you see how difficult that was? It's good stuff. All right, so let's move ahead to another 3rd down. Once again, I don't care if they get it. At least make it difficult. Okay? We have Savion Jones. We've been doing the same thing. Crashing down hard on the back, and there being someone else to guard the running back. Keys is right there to fill the quarterback. Now we need Sage Ryan to make a play. This is their best offensive player, and what does Sage Ryan do? He makes a freaking play, okay? He makes a huge play to prevent the first down. Good stuff, Sage. Okay, now we get the 4th down, and the LSU defense steps up in a major way. I'm a little shocked Vanderbilt didn't elect to kick the field goal. I'm also a little shocked Pavia just didn't throw this right here, okay? First off, I hate this defensive call that we are in. This is a brutal defensive call, all right? You know, I was talking about Ashton Stamps and the off coverage. This is too soft on 4th and 2, all right? Because, look, if Pavia just runs the play, I mean, this is there, okay? But he eats it because Savion Jones is right here. You just got to throw this. If you throw this, I mean, he might score, okay? But Pavia takes it down, and now he has to make a ridiculous play here. Good job by Whit Weeks following up that play right there. And guess what? This still should have been caught. 3 dropped it. We get lucky, and we'll take it. Okay, 1st and 10. And I'm telling you, I've been talking about it all season. C.J. Daniels gets so unlucky. All right, he does get open. We do need to be throwing this football to Pimpton, our big target right here, and he makes a really good catch. But, man, it would have been nice to see C.J. get that one. But he drew and allowed Pimpton to be open right there. I have no idea why Joe Sloan kept doing this. All right, every time we were in pistol, it was outside zone to the right. Every single time. They are sitting on it, okay? They even this time know it's coming, and they bring a blitz, okay? And Pimpton misses his block at the 2nd level. He allowed that blitzer to come in. Still, I mean, they're just keying on it. 3rd and 6, and the unsung hero. So Josh Williams, of course, will hit the game ball, and rightfully so. But the real hero of this game was C.J. Daniels on 3rd down, okay? Stops, gets the football, and then just gets vertical. No time to lollygag, picks up the 1st down, and then is able to potentially make that guy miss. Good stuff. Sometimes games just come down to interception luck. It really is just that, right? Look, this ball shouldn't be thrown. With these linebackers sinking this far back, you just need to hit your check down. That should never be thrown. and we're lucky it didn't tip for a pick. We move on. All right, we get to here. Paul Mabenga had a good night. He just did. All right. Were there some rough outings mixed in there? Yes, if 91 wants to swim and do a pass rush technique, sure, we're just trying to run underneath it. That's good stuff from Mabenga. All right. If you get beat, stick with the rep and at least get a piece, which is what he did, and he springs this. Okay. Now, could Chester have gotten to the second level block a little bit sooner? Yes, but still, good run right there from Josh to make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 2, and this play is not going to make the highlight reel. All right, we pick it up here, unblocked blitzer, and guess what? Garrett is just going to throw this football back shoulder to C.J. Daniels, and man, it works, okay, because C.J. Daniels is a freaking beast, okay, on Epilepsy Awareness Night, his foundation. Really good stuff. All right, so guess what? Vanderbilt, all night, they did exactly what Florida did. They just kept sitting so far back in these zones. If they're going to do it, let's just hit checkdowns. If they're playing the shallow drag, good stuff from Garrett, seeing that this backer played the shallow drag, just hit your check down right here and let Josh Williams cook. All right? Josh obviously was so freaking good in this game. And as it kept sinking deeper and deeper and deeper in their drops, we were, eventually just going to pick up those yards. Josh freaking Williams. Let's go. Okay, so this is his second touchdown. Counter GY, you're pulling the guard and the tight end. One thing Paul Mabenga's done a really good job of is actually pulling. He had a good pull on the first play of the game. That's excellent. Look at this, okay? Takes his defensive end and then displaces him and turns him to the inside. That is ridiculous stuff right there from Paul Mabenga. Good block right there from Mason Taylor as well. And look at that hole, baby. Look at that beautiful bean footage. And because you get a good block from CJ, shout out to him, Epilepsy Awareness. Josh is able to score, man. You can't really do it that much better than that. Let's go.
Nobody did it better than making a statement with his physicality and his relentlessness not to be taken down or tackled. Sometimes you got to have a message, and he sent the message out today. It will not be denied. Josh Williams, game
All right, so 1st and 10, we want to play very conservatively, right? We don't want to give up any touchdowns. They get the football to start next half. The downside of having to play this conservatively and having our corner bail so far back is when we do get a lot of pressure, since the corner is so far back, there's so much wiggle room on these comeback routes. Notice the corner is not even in the frame here, okay? It's so easy, but that's part of it. 6, Tiger Stadium crowd forces a false start. This should have been a big sack, but Devon Keys carried out his assignment. So this is supposed to be a twist where he hits the tackle and allows our guy, Braden Swinson, to go through. But you see, he's through. If he would have just gone through, he would have had a huge sack, but he hits to allow Swinson to get through, and now he's there as well. We had a good rush from the backside as well, and Pavia just has to throw this ball away. Okay, good stuff, and we take it into half with the 14-7 lead. All right, we're midway through this thing. If it's in your heart's desire, please drop a donation, Venmo, Cash App, Super Chat, all that good stuff. And if you are watching this via Premiere, I think you guys will drop a $20 one right now. Okay, I believe it. Actually, I know it. Okay, they get a really nice run here, kind of run ourselves out of the play, and it opens up a huge hole. Get up a 5-yard run to the left side at first, but, you see how much better your defenses play when your safeties just make the simple tackles. Let's give Blake Baker a lot of credit. Stowers, number 9, their tight end, is one of their better players. Started his career as a Texas A&M quarterback, and we were just all over their split zone stuff all night. Okay, really good stuff from Whit. Good coaching, good stuff. And then we were ready for this, okay? This shovel pass was a huge play when they upset Alabama. And once again, we were right there for it. Good stuff. 3rd and 8, and I've been asked a lot, why do we struggle so much with zone read option kind of plays? It's not Whit Weeks' strong suit. Now, I don't know whose job it is to stay central with the quarterback. Obviously, Major Burns is here, but you notice we have one guy playing the running back. We have a linebacker also playing the running back. We have Jordan Gilbert stepping over here. We also have P.J. Woodland all the way over here as well. We just really struggle with it, okay? And Major Burns actually makes the play here, does a good job just staying there and allowing Keys to run back in and make the stop short of the line to gain. All right, so we get to the 2nd and 10. They did pick it up on 4th down, and it was just a tough night for Zion Alexander. It really was. You know, last week it was Stamps, and I don't mind giving up the slant. I really don't. It's just good RPO football. You just got to make this tackle, and let's give Major Burns a lot of credit. Sage Ryan, he made a lot of these tackles, all right, just a simple tackle. Did it again here. It's one, you see how big of a difference it was, and it is during the game, right? Forcing them to have to convert in the red zone. Once again, Sage Ryan makes the big play, all right? You don't have to tackle him. Just slow him down, okay? And he slowed him down some. Whit Weeks was also there, but that prevents a first down. And then once again, you want to see how Tiger Stadium's a difference maker? The backside left tackle false starts. The funny thing about him false starting is he just has to stand still, right? If he just stays still right here, the play's not even designed to go in your direction, okay? It's the Tiger Stadium crowd getting into their heads because, look, they had exactly what they wanted, all right? Zone read in the same direction of the zone read. Tight end had our end sealed. Running back would have kicked out here, and it would have been him versus Greg Penn in the hole right there. Instead, it's 4th and medium, and they kick a field goal. All right, so on this 3rd and 7, it looked like he had Stowers here. I mean, this would have been bang, but he takes the underneath, and they end up playing conservatively. They kick a field goal. But one thing about it, we lined up with only 10 players on the field, and we had to burn a timeout, but they were able to make the field goal. First down, and we get lucky here that this ball was not picked. All right. Yeah. Is there a lot of pressure up the middle? Yeah. You knew they were going to run a lot of these twist stunts up the middle versus Mabenga and Chester. Okay. If you're Garrett, I mean, I'm just never throwing this football to Aaron. Because if it's behind him and he's able to make this catch clean, it's a touchdown going the other way. I'm just never making that throw right there. Just throw it away. And then, of course, Sloan has his issues. They were just they were just keying our runs. I don't know what it is, but they were just ready for our runs to the right side. You know, it was a big, talking point last week versus Florida, but, man. And then once again, it's C.J. Daniels, again, making big play after big play after big play, okay? Good stuff from Garrett. Once again, these switch verticals never work. It just never works. So good job by Garrett stepping up into the pocket. Once again, not the cleanest footwork in the world. Who cares? He gets the football right in stride to C.J. Daniels, who has work to do. He stops, pops, and then he's able to get through this tackle and fall forward for a first down. Excellent. And then Aaron Anderson got going in the second half of this game. All right, good read here from Garrett. They rotate into single high. They bring a nickel pressure. All right, DB has inside leverage. God, this is a really good route from Aaron. Look at this. This is just filthy stuff. Mix in some play action with it as well. Juke him, and now he's to the sidelines. An easy read. Man, that is just really good stuff. And Garrett just has to throw a decent ball right here, and guess what? He does. It is really, really, really good stuff. And Aaron makes a really good catch and takes a big hit. Bang. All right, so we rushed to the line, which is smart, and just run that play because there was a late little drop-ish from Aaron, but he did catch it, and we can't do anything. All right, so 4th and 4. We were still live for our halftime show. Once again, we got one Oklahoma pregame, halftime, postgame shows. And on 4th and 4, they actually get quasi-conservative. I mean, this is really soft coverage across the way. And guess what? They're bringing a ton of pressure. I wasn't the biggest fan of this play call either, all right? Because, look, they're sitting back. I like short crossers in this situation. Is this open right here to Kyren, this slot fade? It was, okay? But the safety might have, crept up over here. So Garrett decides to work to the backside to C.J. Daniels, which is smart. And this is a good job by Garrett stepping up into this pocket, resetting, and throwing this football to the in-breaker to C.J. Daniels. Good stuff, all right? I would have loved to have seen if that safety was over the top of Kyren on that play. But Garrett does end up making a really good throw, and we get a really nice catch. Good stuff. Alrighty, so we then get to here, okay? Man, it's C.J. Daniels again getting somebody else open. I don't know how many times he's done this year. It is a crime against humanity he's not scored a touchdown this season. So because he does a good job right here crossing the face of two, he runs vertical, and it draws this corner to CJ, all right? And this corner's job should have been Kyren Lacy. The corner, as you can see, pulls to CJ. Garrett sees it a little late, so all he has to do is throw this ball to Kyren. I mean, it's there, walk in, and really awkward quarterback mechanics here from Garrett. That ball should have been thrown a little bit sooner. I think he was a little shocked how open Kyren was, and 6 is too late to come back to it. Good stuff. Y'all, the defensive game plan was so good from LSU. Look at how much better our communication was. And basically, wink, wink, nod, nod, what a lot of these communications are doing is to communicate whose job it is to pick up who in the flat, all right? Because the reason why these motions are so difficult to deal with is because it changes whose responsibilities is whose, okay? So notice the running back comes in to chip Braden Swinson. We pass it off well, and Major Burns is right here on Stowers on this 3rd and 7, okay? And we just have everything covered. And Whit Weeks is a heat-sinking missile, and basically we'll let them do that all day, every day. Now, this is very, very, very dumb right here for Major Burns, okay? It's so dumb. Don't taunt the guy right here, all right? Look, he's right there in his face. We're very lucky we get away with it. And refs should get away with it. Taunting should be legal. All right, so we get the football back. And, man, this is a good stuff from Garrett Nussmeier. So the play action fake, there is a lot of people coming. So let's see if we can pick it up. Good stuff right here from Josh. His protection last week wasn't good. And we just need to give Garrett a little bit of time. This, honestly, is just really good stuff from Garrett. Okay, trusting his pocket. Trust it, okay? I understand the middle of your offensive line hasn't been the best, but trust it, and trust your receivers are going to get open, and that's what Aaron Anderson does. He gets open. God, this is good stuff from Joe Sloan. All right? Fake like you're running to the right like you had been doing all night. Throw a quick screen, and lucky enough, Garrett got it there, okay? So now number 2 is out of the play. And we did not even get a good block right here from Kamarion Pimpton, but because we got a good block from Mason Taylor and Aaron Anderson's a beast, he's able to turn the corner and pick up some good yards. So we need a better block right there from KP. Back it down, good stuff. This is a big part of Garrett's game, and I know he has some battle wounds from that interception versus A&M, but it is so effective to just, if they're going to play off, just run these comebacks all day, every day. We'll take it all day, every day. Good stuff. Now, the funny thing is this play design actually explains all of LSU's offensive struggles. So this is a replay, and this play honestly cost us some games this year. So check out the full deep dive, and we talk a little bit about Jaden from 2022 to 2023 as well. So please check it out. Now, once again, it's just simple. There's no need to break anything down over here. If they are sinking this far back, it's either QB run game, which there is no QB run game. They have all the rush lanes clogged. Hit your checkdowns. And Josh Williams, all night long, made guys miss. All right? It's just that simple. make guys miss. If you make guys miss as a running back, you should get all the touches. If not all the touches, a good chunk of the touches. And Josh makes not one, not two, but potentially 3 people miss. It's a good touchdown saver right there. And there you go. All right, so it wouldn't be an LSU game if we didn't get a offensive tackle false start. But Emory Jones and Will Campbell were mostly really good in this game. And this is good stuff right here up the middle. DJ Chester, this was his best game. All right, I'm recording this as the game goes on. All right, it wasn't perfect by any means, but he's the one that makes this run happen right here with a good block right up the gut. And there you go. All right, why do we keep running these switch verticals? It never works. It never, ever, not once, not twice, never, ever, ever works. All right? We don't really want to throw this either because there is this backer right here. Normally versus zone, we would prefer him just to stop, but there might not be an option here. Okay? This should never be thrown, and we had good interception luck. All right? It just, ugh. Okay? So, looks like we are running snag, or just, basically a bunch of stops. Chris Hilton makes a really nice catch here, and there you go. Easy pitch and catch. Garrett is honestly a little late with this. There was a lot of passes where, he just kind of reset for no reason, and that ball could have been there a little bit sooner. Chris elects to cut back, and it works. Okay? Good stuff from Chris. Now, at some point, we need you to get vertical. All right? God, that's a good block right there from Josh Williams. And this has been the story of Chris Hilton's career. If you can make this guy miss, you might have a chance to score. He gets tripped up, and he picks up the first. So on first down, we ran the football to the right side. It got stopped. Now, Garrett, this is excellent quarterbacking. Okay, we're running smash to the bottom. They have it covered. So we want to work to the backside here. And this is honestly a long developing play. I mean, Will Campbell pitched a shutout basically all night. And this is unfreaking believable protection right here. Chester and Mabenga the double. Miles Frazier, okay? And Garrett, man, this is excellent quarterbacking. All right? Could he have thrown this to CJ right now? Yes. Okay? And maybe CJ catches this and breaks a tackle for a touchdown. But Garrett throws with a lot of anticipation. And Kyren right here just needs to get aggressive and catch this football. You can see he gets a little casual here. And he's able to come in and strip the ball. And you just got to catch that. I mean, you just do. All right, then we get to third down. Man. Garrett freaking Nussmeier. This is ridiculous. Okay? Once again, it's C.J. Daniels getting somebody else open, all right? He's able to get just that little piece, okay? You don't want to hit him, all right? Remember, last week, Kyren hit the guy. You just got to get as close as you can. You got to make sure you don't touch him. So Garrett sees that and sees that Aaron has a step. This ball has got to be perfect. And another thing that makes this throw really good is they actually ran a twist up the middle yet again, okay? And we don't protect it really all that well. All right, so Garrett, with the guy right in his face, throws an absolute dot. And this is a freaking dot that Aaron just has to catch, okay? You got to hold on to it, and he wasn't able to hold on to it. Ball jars loose in there. And you'll see it on the replay. Good job by Aaron getting not 1 but 2 feet in bounds. Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. But you'll see here at the end, I believe, this ball is moving, and that's unfortunate. It was a really good catch, but you got to be able to hold on to it all the way through, and we can't do it. And that keeps Vanderbilt in it. All right, one thing I was a little shocked with Vanderbilt is they kept pulling and leaving Savion Jones unblocked, okay? And he made play after play after play. That's just so much pressure, totally disrupts this, and Pavia basically runs into a sack here by Swinson and Washington. And I want you to take a look at this route distribution at the top of the screen, okay? So playing a lot more 4-3 base, which adds an extra linebacker. And Whit Weeks played quite a bit, number 33. Notice how everything's covered. Stowers on the dig covered, the running back right there, running the seam covered, flats are covered. Really, really, really good stuff from Blake. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 9, and it's Savion Jones again, along with JVR Suggs. the good thing about doing a 3-man rush is that we can have a QB spy just run down Pavia on the scramble drill, and Weeks sees it, and man, that's just excellent stuff. You just got to throw it away, basically. And P.J. Woodland also had a really, really, really good night. Okay, good stuff. Now, this is unacceptable. Right here, if you're LSU, a punt is basically losing the game. It's basically giving the game away, right? Because all we need is a field goal. It ends it and makes it a 3-possession game. Why we are not in punt safe and just automatic fair catch in this makes no sense. So what we decide to do is set up a punt return, and you see we're man-to-man. The last thing you want to do is do a man-to-man punt return because our backs are turned to the play, okay? So since it was a man-to-man punt return, that gave the punter an option, and honestly, this is I don't know why we had 2 guys right here, but Xavier Debo Atkins, who I like a lot, as many of you know, we interviewed him on the channel, he almost saves this play. This is ridiculous speed. And a good job right here to the left side to slow it down. And they get a really good spot, and they're able to stay alive. All righty, so let's get to this 4th and Ruston here. The only way Louisiana Tech is getting back into this game is converting this 4th down, and they're punting the ball away. There's no reason to set up a man-to-man punt return in this spot. And also, there is never going to be a punt team that's going to send all their guys to the left side into the boundary and leave this side of the field wide open. There's no reason to set up a return, okay? But this is what poorly coached teams do. Now, this one's a lot worse than the one that happened to LSU. It really, really, really is. But the bottom line is this, the Arkansas special teams coaches, dude, their fans have been begging him to be fired. But that's a sign of poor coaching. The only way they are getting back into this game is giving up a fake punt. And Arkansas also managed to miss 12 tackles on a punter. Really? All right, so we decide to spell Greg Penn, and look who's in here, Whit Weeks, okay? And he's in position to make this play, and he can't quite do it. Whit's also there, huge hole up the middle, and now Vanderbilt's got all the momentum. All right, so 2nd and 10, they're running smash. We have a safety over the top of it, decent pocket, and we just need our safety to make this play, okay? Jordan Gilbert can't quite get in there, and lucky enough, Ashton Stamp stayed with the play, and he's able to make a really, really, really big tackle right here. All right, so guess what? Pavia acts like he's running, and then eventually just throws his football to Stowers, and now they're driving. This is crazy, right? They were punting the game away, and now they're here. All right, and then basically they do run this thing in. Our defense is tired, though. You know, we had it. We had the punt of the football. You just got to be in punt safe right there, force them to punt, and eventually they do pound it in. And here he is, little zone read action, same side pull, okay? So 23 essentially becomes a lead blocker. Savion Jones almost still makes this play, and it's a touchdown. One thing I'll say about Garrett Nussmeier is this guy has just been tough all season long, all right? They get exotic. Our pass protection picks it up. Josh Williams' pass protection was so good when last week it wasn't the best. Actually, he actually kind of whiffs this, but still, it's a good enough hit to give Kyren enough time. All right, you would like Josh to hit that a little bit more square, hold on. And Garrett, with the guy crushing him, makes this throw to Kyren Lacy on this deep corner. Okay, look at that. Bang. That's a big-time freaking throw, man. Kind of reminds you of the Ole Miss game. And look at this, man. One of the rare times you really can hit the quarterback, okay? Boom, okay? And you can see Garrett, he knows it's coming. You can see a little tiptoe, and couldn't really step into it. Bang. And you get Kyren right here. Really good route. Act like you might be running the end breaker, and then you pop back to the outside. Got 25 turning around. Okay, really, really good route there from Kyren when it was an up and down game. Okay, wow. Man, this was really good stuff from Paul Mabenga. Mabenga and Chester were very solid in this game. They weren't dominant, but they were really, really solid. We get a nice run on first here. Okay, once again, if you never pull it, this backside in can join the run fit all the way over here. Okay, pull it, and you're cooking. Okay, or you could throw it right here, but that's why you got to have some type of pull read to it, and we can't pick up the first, all right? Third down, we got to have it. I'm a little shocked that they weren't a little bit more aggressive here defensively, but Mabenga, and honestly, this is just Will Campbell being an all-time stud. I mean, God bless America. God bless America. Will Campbell, what a dude. What a dude. All right. Good stuff from Joe. All right. RPO read. They've been selling out to stop the run. They had been playing off, so let's just get the football into Double A's hand. Ooh! Aaron Anderson. That man's got a family. He's got a family too. Aaron, why you doing that to him, baby? Goodness gracious. Nice little shake and bakes, and he picks up the first. Good stuff understanding time and plays from Garrett, Joe, and Brian Kelly, whose game management has been under heavy criticism, and by heavy criticism, I mean it's been me. This is awesome stuff from LSU. You got to tell Garrett this is an automatic handoff, no throw, because we want to hand it off to force this to go down to the 2-minute warning. And we also want to make sure we bleed enough seconds off the play clock to get it under the 40 here. So good stuff from LSU. You want this to be an automatic handoff, okay? You just do. All right, really, really, really good stuff. And even though it's not for a lot of yards, that's what we want there, okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. All right. They bring a blitz, and Garrett's trusting Kyren to make a play. Guess what he does? All right, so he works the single receiver side. Kyren has to know you automatically have to cut to the inside. You cannot go out of bounds here. You just can't, and that's exactly what he does. And Brian Kelly rightfully chews him out, okay? Rightfully chews him out, okay? You just can't do that. All right, this is ridiculous that this game... Oh, my God. This is ridiculous that this game essentially ends on this. Vanderbilt has 2 timeouts. They call delay a game because he's clapping right here. He heard the clap, and it's an automatic whistle, okay, for snap infractions, okay? Crazy, crazy, crazy call. So you get the delay a game penalty, and on this next run, you'll see Kamarion Pimpton actually make the big block to seal this bad boy. Now, we have got to have a conversation about this college tackle football team. Our dear beloved LSU Tigers, okay? Now, I truly do believe, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I think someone's going to drop a really nice Super Chat donation right now in the premiere or afterwards, Venmo, Cash App, all that good stuff, and it's going to break this play down. This has been a big problem for us this year, okay? Now, you would think if Kamarion Pimpton played a decent amount, that Mason Taylor wouldn't have played every single snap in this game. But guess what? And this is actually relatively rare that a tight end plays every single snap in the game. All right, we'll get more into that in just a second, but Pimpton actually makes a big block here. PFF actually graded him as the lowest graded player in this game, but when we needed him, that's huge right here to kick out. And look at this surge on the right side. Hell yes. Miles Frazier, Mason Taylor on snap number 69. Nice. And this wasn't snap number 69. It was 69 total snaps. That's nasty. Emory Jones, fantastic game. Obviously, DJ Chester, that's good enough right there. And we pick up the first down, and then it is time to take knees. There we go. So, we're going to break this down from so many different angles at the end. Once again, we want to shout out all our partners in OPOD, Zion Imaging 360 Photo Booth, NoOffSeason.com Network, and so many more. Okay? So, let's start on the defensive side of the football. Deigo Pavia has been the SEC heartthrob, all right? Now, I don't look at PFF grades before I start the film study, but I've been incorporating them a little bit more in some of our analysis, as you could see. And this was very interesting, and I love the alley-oop slam dunk. That is a thing of beauty. But, look, Deigo Pavia had been, up to this point, the SEC's best quarterback, okay? Or at least the one that has kind of taken over the true college football fans, right? He's an underdog story. He was bad in this game. Now, I know he's been playing through injury, and he is one tough son of a gun. I'm starting to wonder if he was a little bit distracted because he is suing the NCAA so he can get an extra year of eligibility. The truth is, we can make all the different, statements we want about a Garrett Nussmeier. Pavia, you could have make a case that he should be all SEC, quarterback. This, once again, was his lowest graded game from Pro Football Focus. And he just missed some big throws. That sideline ball where our DB was burned. The fourth down play was bizarre, not throwing that ball in the flat, and then 3 dropped it. Outside of that double move, they really did nothing, right? So take that 7 points off the board. The fact that we only gave up 3 defensively is really good. I do think defensively we played better, right? We had more guys stepping up, making plays. The guy who was clearly the most improved from the Florida game to this game was Devon Keys, 42. Did some really freaking good things in this game for us. And as a true freshman, that is a very good sight to see. We'll start with the defensive line. Obviously, our DTs were really stressed in this game, and they stepped up and played fine. And then our defensive ends, Braden Swinson, and in particular, I don't know why they kept unblocking Savion Jones. Savion was just a game wrecker. Now, once again, a lot of that was by design, and he made them pay for it. Second-level defense, Whit Weeks had some good snaps in this game. Whit had his moments. Once again, we've got to sort out the QB keep on the zone read because, honestly, the best zone read quarterback in the SEC right now, as far as pulling, making the right decisions, is probably Jackson Arnold, right? I mean, Milroe is definitely faster. Taylon Green, I think, also is faster. But Jackson Arnold is really good on the zone read, and we have to make him throw. Because obviously he just got done beating Alabama. So we've got to sort that out. I mean, it's just inexcusable how bad we've been at that. And lucky enough, that was Deigo Pavia that was running that zone read where Jordan Gilbert was able to turn around and chase him down. If that was any other dual threat quarterback, they're probably scoring or they're probably getting more damage. And once again, on like the play right after that, Pavia missed a sideline ball. So a lot of this was, they hit this deep shot, but they just did not take advantage of their other opportunities. And I also felt this deep shot, this is going to sound stupid, actually worked against Vanderbilt because they're not a quick strike offense. They're a ball control offense. You saw what they did in the third quarter, elongated drives. So, Vanderbilt offensively, they're going to have a lot of questions. And honestly, LSU did some good things as well. We saw them shut down Stowers in many ways. We shut down what they've been really good at, which are those split zone safe throws. We did an excellent job guarding it. Now, we have to have a conversation about our corner play. Zy Alexander, in 2 out of the last 3 games, has just been torched. This was a tough game for him. And then obviously Ashton Stamps, we're playing him all the way back to West Monroe versus where the receiver is lined up. And he still had some issues. So even with the soft coverage, we had some mistakes at the corner position. And obviously it was good to see Sage Ryan play better. But we need a total upheaval Is that even a word? Upheaval of our defensive back room. And one thing I think also helped out this really struggling LSU defense was the fact that the game was shortened. And that's how Vanderbilt wants to play. So what actually worked against Vanderbilt, they're not that great of a team. Vanderbilt had not had a game up to this point where they averaged 6 yards per play in a single game. This was their first versus an SEC team where they average at least 6 yards per play. So that's why I'm pointing this out. Defensively, were we solid? Yes. Even outside of this deep ball, yes, we were solid. But the problem was because Vanderbilt plays that ball control, bleeds so many seconds off the clock type of offense, it really honestly shortened the game, and it didn't allow our defense to make more mistakes such as this one, right? So actually shortening this game helped LSU out because we're not as talented as LSU teams in the past, right? Because it's just simple logic. If you play more plays during the course of a game, guess what? Over the long run, the better team with better players are going to win out. And as many of you know, this LSU team is just not that great this year. So some standout defensive performance. It was good to see Sage Ryan play well. Once again, Keys again stepping up. I thought Dominic McKinley actually did some interesting things in this game, so I'm really excited about that. But overall, Blake Baker had a good plan. I really do think I like the adjustments that he made. We do need to execute them better, and I can't wait till he gets a full offseason of hopefully portal freedom to go out there and get his guys. But after what happened with Ole Miss this year and how good Ole Miss has been, even though they choked this weekend, it's going to be so much more competitive getting the good players out of the portal. So, solid night defensively, and really I tweeted this out, the game ball should go to the Tiger Stadium crowd. It did seem, even though they started off with the ultimate silencer, a deep touchdown after a 3 and out, the fact that the crowd stepped up and did what they did was a true game changer. Now, before we go to the offensive side of the football, let's have a conversation. Well, actually, let's go offense, and we'll go into the Brian Kelly stuff. All right. Really, really, really encouraging night for this LSU offensive line. All right. Now, we do this every week with the DJ Chester alert. Obviously, he started the game with a really bad penalty that led to a punt. It still wasn't a great game, according to PFF. He is still not graded as a replacement level center. They gave him a 58 grade. I honestly thought this game was a little bit better than that. I thought Mabenga really stepped up and played a lot better as a left guard. But the other three guys, and I don't want to focus too much on the negative, and I don't even think Chester is a center. He probably needs to move to a new position. But man, the other three guys were phenomenal. Miles Frazier, phenomenal. Will Campbell, phenomenal. Emory Jones, the false start penalty, also phenomenal. And obviously, the running backs are really good. Caden Durham, tough night with that drop and a few other plays. So this is one of those cases where the LSU coaching staff was right to keep feeding Josh Williams and not, phasing him out of the offense and making this, the entire Caden Durham show. Josh Williams all season is broken tackles and fallen forward. Obviously, his pass protection versus Florida wasn't great. Tonight was a lot better. And Josh was just phenomenal. He was just flat out phenomenal at breaking tackles and so on and so on. So this Vanderbilt defense is good. It's not an elite unit. Once again, they shorten games. They make smart plays. They make you go out there and beat you. But, we had extraordinary tackle breaking plays from Josh Williams, who won't be here next year, obviously. I think a lot of LSU fans would have felt better if this was like a Caleb Jackson who could be there next season. But Josh, year 6, ending the season strongly. Nothing too surprising there. And he has the one leg sleeve thing going on. I love the aura, the swag, all that good stuff. Now, we get to me, the most disappointing position group of the night, which was wide receiver, right? This is a very good LSU wide receiver unit. Obviously, it's not epilepsy awareness night. C.J. Daniels was phenomenal. And look, this is why I like to, come to my own conclusions and not just looking at PFF grades. I have no idea why C.J. Daniels was not up there, right? So, I mean, he was just so freaking good in this game. Getting other guys open, converting third downs, converting fourth downs. The critical plays in this game were made by C.J. Daniels. And it is still, once again, I'll say it again, a crime against humanity that he has not scored a touchdown this season. It really is bothering me. But, obviously he's a team-first guy, and you've seen it in his play. So you'll love to see it. Chris Hilton almost phased out of this offense. That's a step in the right direction. It was good to see him make that catch. Obviously, I'm cheering for everyone on the team. He only got 8 snaps. And you saw, I keep bringing this guy up. I would love to see Jelani Watkins get a shot to play. And that's just based on camp reports and things that I heard about Jelani during this offseason. Now, like we always do, we get to coaching, and then we'll get to Garrett Nussmeier. All right. Well, actually, you guys, let me know which one do you want to do first, even though this is pre-recorded. I'm trying to decide which one do. Let's do Garrett Nussmeier first. This, when I tell you I was floored when I saw this, and I think I have been criticized more for not being critical of Garrett Nussmeier enough. I have been labeled the Garrett Nussmeier defender. This is not an anti-Garrett Nussmeier statement, what I'm about to say, but I really don't know how Pro Football Focus had Garrett Nussmeier as the number 1 rated player for LSU in this game. Like, I was blown away by that. I saw some jitteriness in the pocket. Now, he eventually was able to make those throws because our pass protection was so damn good tonight. Also saw some lucky interceptable balls that happened. A few scramble opportunities, not as many as there were in that Florida game. I don't think he played bad. He obviously did some really good things, and in particular in the clutch. And those red zone drops on 2 absolute dimes, that's obviously not his fault. I just don't know how you could have graded him the highest graded player on this offense. Like, I just did not see that game the same way. Obviously, this was a better Nuss game based on how things have been trending for him. But there you go. Now, one thing is it's interesting. I want to talk about the tight end room as well before we get to Brian Kelly, because, man, I am a little worried about the future of this room because Mason Taylor's going to go to the NFL. I'm a little shocked that we haven't tried, a package, wildcat package, bringing a different QB for QB run game. He played every snap. So I think our formational diversity is limited because Mason Taylor plays every snap. Every single snap. That is rare for a tight end to do. Now, it's not like totally uncommon that, a tight end plays a lot of snaps, 90% of the snaps, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And Mason continues to play really, really, really well. Okay. So, it is just one observation. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are more tight ends that play every single snap. Okay? Now, if you guys don't mind, please go give me a follow at Power Hour LSU on Twitter. I'm trying to get to, 5,000 followers before the end of the season? I think we're at 3,300 or something like that. You got to dream big, man. You just do. Now, we get to Brian Kelly. So, obviously, very interesting night because I want to see this replay. Cole Kubelik talked about this in the post game or or on the broadcast. Bang! Oh boy! Look at this. The deflection. No, I don't think it hit him in the face. Hit him in the arm. I thought it hit him in the face. So Brian Kelly in this game. How good was he? First off, let's award PHL with our first ever self-awarded Pulitzer Prize. Okay? We were the first LSU media organization to report that Bill Belichick was on campus. And I do believe Belichick was just here to, I think he's down in New Orleans shooting some stuff, and he decided to come up for a game. I do know that Brian Kelly and Bill Belichick have done some charity events in their past. Remember, Brian Kelly's a Midwest guy who was at Notre Dame for a while, and that's not necessarily close to New England, but they've smoozed with celebrities in the past and rubbed elbows. So two men that have a great deal of respect for each other. I do find it interesting that we had a pretty solid defensive night, though, with him in the building, and that Kev Falk photo was so freaking iconic because, they won so many Super Bowls together. So Brian Kelly coached a really good game, right? You factor in all the offseason stuff, the off-the-field stuff. We lost a semi-decent recruit, okay? Take that for what it's worth. And there's questions about NIL. There's questions about the future. There's questions about this coach and that coach. Are you going to keep Joe Sloan? Well, the first thing is I don't think Brian Kelly can move forward with Joe Sloan as the offensive coordinator, and you saw a lot of reasons why today. Another thing, if you want to see more reasons, go to Power Hour SEC and watch our other film studies of other offenses, and you'll see how many things are schemed up, right? You can survive without QB run game, right? Texas is the number one ranked team, and their QB runs a 5'9", 40-yard dash. You could survive without it, but you got to scheme things open for it to work, right? So one way I'll defend Garrett, and maybe PFF is factoring this into their grade, is, and this does fall on Brian Kelly, the actual scheme itself just does not open up a lot of things. And we were able to just out-athlete a lot of Vanderbilt's guys tonight. And that's part of the issue is Brian Kelly, he's going to have to make an offensive coordinator change or a play caller change of some kind. Because tonight, even though we did have a good offensive performance, I do think there needs to be a switch. One thing, though, that bothered me about this game, and it is kind of random, like if this person makes this play or if this person makes this play, this really isn't that big of a point. I give him a lot of credit for getting this team focused, going down 7-0 with probably the worst start you could have possibly asked for, scoring 14 unanswered. I have no problem with that because that's basically been Garrett Nussmeier's MO. At this point, he's won more starts where he's trailed, to start, and us having a slow-ish start than not up to this point in his career. So that's not the problem. It's how we finish, right? We have really, really, really struggled just putting games away. And I understand a lot of you that are 7.5-point LSU bet the spread kind of people. That was a painful ending, right? You miss the drop Kyren Lacy touchdown, the drop Aaron touchdown, and then, of course, the fake punt. That is the killer instinct that we have criticized Brian Kelly for in the USC game. And USC, of course, has not looked all that great since that game. The Texas A&M game, when you're up by 10 on the road. We just have not finished well. And the problem with this, even if you go to the DB clapping his hands, we don't have the killer instinct, right? We kind of backed into this victory when this should have been a game that we pulled away from in the second half. And look, I'm not mad that we lost. I'll take any win the way it can come at this point. But it is something. It is something of note, not being totally buttoned up in that spot. All right, so that is one thing. Another thing, though, man, this overall was a solid game plan with another one of his assistants across the way. So with all of that in the balance and the greatest freaking coach of all time in attendance, even though I think Andy Reid's better, I do give Brian Kelly a good grade. I gave him overall a B grade for this game. And guess what? You can see all the game grades on Patreon. So let me know what you guys think down below. And now we get a little spicy. We always do this at the end as well. We talk about the college football playoff. Obviously, we're out of it at 7-4, and we should be out of it. But if you would have beaten Florida, you would be right in the thick of it. Now, you'd be on the outside-ish thick of it, but you would be somewhat in the thick of it. And the SEC football world is just chaotic now. Is this going to be more of the same? We'll see. But Oklahoma's a team that has won some SEC games versus semi-decent teams. Obviously, they beat an Auburn team on the road. They also beat Alabama last night. Those are their only 2 SEC victories on the season. How did they win both of those games? Well, defensively, they're very good. 32, their end is excellent. Thomas, Denny Stutzman's the real deal. Also, they have finally found a running back, right? They had been really struggling at the RB position, but the only way that they have actually won games this year is by the other teams losing them, right? Auburn lost. They gave them a point-blank pick 6, and then they also lost another game versus Alabama where Milroe threw basically 2 pick 6s. So they have won because the other team has lost. So we've really got to be buttoned up and not let ourselves hurt ourselves. And if we can do that, we should be able to end the season 8-4. I know that's not what we want, but there you go. Now, if you want to learn more about the Oklahoma Sooners, I did do a film breakdown. They did steal some plays and really put together a good game plan. Bang, it's floating in your face right now. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. And tonight we are doing gumbo. Let's